Silence can be unsettling. We spend most of our lives trying to fill silence with music, podcasts, small talk, screens, to-do list, anything. We associate silence with discomfort, awkwardness, or even loneliness. But hop on a motorcycle and you'll learn something surprising. Silence isn't empty. It's alive and it has something to say. Out on the road, just you and the hum of your engine, the world gets quiet. And then, if you're paying attention, so do you. Most of us carry a constant hum of mental noise, worry, regret, internal criticism, self-comparison, the next task, the last mistake, the unresolved tension you've shoved into a drawer labeled later. It's always there, just under the surface. Even when we think we're relaxing, we're often just distracting ourselves. We scroll, swipe, binge watch, refresh. We consume more than we pause. And underneath it all, we rarely stop to ask, what would I hear if I really sat in silence? A motorcycle ride, especially solo, doesn't let you avoid that question. It invites it. The first few miles might still feel busy. Your thoughts will chase each other. Your brain will try to keep planning or problem solving. You'll be thinking about that meeting, that text you forgot to answer, that thing someone said 5 years ago. But then something shifts. The rhythm of the ride takes over. The wind presses against your helmet like a calming hand. Your body starts to sync with the road. And slowly, almost without realizing it, the noise softens. Not because you forced it to stop, but because there's finally space for it to settle. That's what the ride gives you, space. Not answers, not solutions. Just a pause. And in that pause, you begin to feel something you didn't know you needed. Stillness. Stillness isn't comfortable at first. It's not all sunsets and open highways. Sometimes it brings things to the surface that we've been trying to outrun. Writing strips away the usual distractions, and in the silence, your real voice comes through, not the one shaped by job titles, expectations, or Instagram captions. The deeper one, the one that asks harder questions. Am I happy? Am I pretending? What am I afraid of? What do I actually want? These questions don't always come with answers, but just hearing them again can be clarifying. Even painful truths feel cleaner in the open air. When you're writing, you don't have to perform. You're not explaining yourself to anyone, and in that honesty, there's healing. When you're off the bike, life moves fast. Traffic, deadlines, dings and buses. You're constantly reacting. But the road, especially those long stretches in the middle of nowhere, offers a brutal and beautiful contrast. There's nothing to react to except the curve ahead, the rumble beneath you, and the thoughts in your own head. That contrast is jarring for people used to constant input, and yet it's deeply necessary. Because without silence, you forget who you are when the noise stops. And the truth is, that's exactly the version of you that needs attention. Sometimes you ride because you're trying to clear your head. Other times you ride with the fog still thick in your mind. That's okay. Not every ride is a clean slate. Not every mile untangles a knot. But here's what happens. You keep moving, and somehow movement has a way of shaking loose the things that words alone can't fix. Grief, confusion, anger, restlessness. You don't talk them away. You write through them, and that moment creates room, not for instant answers, but for breath, for progress, for something to shift even slightly inside of you. Sometimes that's all you need. One of the most misunderstood ideas in modern life is that being alone is the same as being lonely. It's not. Loneliness is feeling disconnected, even when you're surrounded by people. But solitude is a gift. It's the space where self-understanding lives. Motorcycle rides offer solitude without isolation. You're alone, but not cut off. You're connected to the road, to your senses, to something bigger than yourself. You might pass a few riders, exchange a nod or a wave, and still keep your own space. No one's talking, no one's judging, but you're not alone in the existential sense. You're with yourself, and when that doesn't scare you anymore, when being alone becomes comfortable, that's when something real starts to grow. Silence doesn't mean nothing is happening. It just means you've stopped talking long enough to listen to yourself, to what your body's been trying to tell you, to what your intuition has been whispering beneath the noise. We miss so much in life because we fill every space with something: music, news, opinions, updates. But what if some of the most important guidance isn't out there? What if it's inside, just waiting for a quiet moment to be heard? Motorcycle riding gives you that moment. It doesn't demand that you fix anything, just that you listen. Sometimes the road mirrors your mood: stormy, foggy, unpredictable. Other times it offers contrast: calm when you're chaotic, light when you feel heavy. Either way, it speaks. It says, keep going. It says, you don't have to have it all figured out. It says, right now, this moment is enough. And let that ride be your language, your meditation, your connection back to what matters. When you pull back into your driveway or onto your street, nothing around you looks different. The same cars, the same mailbox, the same clutter in the garage. But you know something's changed. Maybe your thoughts are quieter. Maybe your shoulders aren't clenched. Maybe that thing you were overthinking no longer feels so urgent. Not by solving your life, but by reintroducing you to you. The part of you that's grounded, whole, capable of just being without explanation or apology. In a loud, fast, always on world, choosing silence is an act of rebellion. Choosing to ride without a goal, to ride without noise, to ride just to listen, that's radical and necessary. So next time the world gets too loud, don't just turn down the volume. Put on your helmet, start the engine, let the silence ride with you. Because silence isn't empty, it's everything you've been trying to hear.